Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, man, I'm good. You're beautiful, man.
Thank you.
I found a couple of things interesting about this episode. One, we didn't get to see Sarah and Dean, which makes me question, did they opt out, or have production got all the negativity they wanted out of them, and so they've decided to focus on somebody else? And also, out of the 7 or 8 couples that have been married, we've only got 2 people that have actually got the wedding reception that everybody else dreams of. Because if you look at Key and Davide, and also Julia, Ruth, and Devon, they are the only couples that seem to have had a more sort of positive experience on their wedding day. Everybody else, there's been so many questions, it's unbelievable. And kudos to Grace and Ashley, because they've actually made a turn, and hopefully they stay on the positive track. I hope they don't let me down like that couple. Was it from, not last season, but the season before, the one with Rose and what's his name? I've forgotten the guy, whereby she broke up with him towards the end after they went on homestays. And so I am hoping this is a positive sort of turnaround of events for Ashley and Sarah, because hey, Sarah could fall into money backwards without thinking about it. This man comes from wealth. Not that I'm saying she's a gold digger, but hey. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by, to girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight UK, Season 10, Episode 4. So we get to pick up with Lee and Leah. It's the morning after their wedding. Obviously, Lee was left in the bridal suite while Leah had to go and sleep downstairs. So when they came back together. I assume production wanted them to have breakfast together, and you had Leah saying, she felt like she slept in the dungeon. It was very cold, whereas Lee is saying, oh, I needed my time. It was important for me to ask for personal space because I needed time to be by myself. This is what I think. I think Lee is someone who's used to being in control, and I think she's very pampered and spoiled and is used to getting her way. And when she doesn't, she throws a tantrum, as we saw later in the episode. And I think this is who she is. Sadly, whoever her mom or whoever else has sort of indulged or allowed her to sort of behave the way she behaves is the reason why she is the person that she is. And I don't think it's anything to do with Leah. I think it's just Lee as a person. That's who she is, and good luck to whoever stays married to her. Grace and Ashley for me were actually a surprise turn, because at the start of the episode you had them go on a date where you had Ashley having arranged for her to get a massage, and she couldn't stand that. I said this before, I'll say this again. I think Grace is on the spectrum, and I think this is why she has awkwardness at times and is not able to tolerate. She seemed like she was being tortured when you was trying to massage her, and you were saying, I am normally recommended by people always say that I'm very good at it, so I don't get why she's very uncomfortable about it. And it's like, well, if she's uncomfortable, just leave her and move on. Anyway, I'm happy that when she said stop, he stopped. He didn't insist on continuing. He respected the boundary and left her and just waited for her to decide what to do. So they left the massage and sort of went for a walk. We then get to meet the next couple to get married. I think this is couple number 6, and we meet the bride to be first, Maeve. She's 29. She's the youngest girl. I remember saying this in the experiment. So she has had her horse for 16 years. People describe her as a good time girl. She's the life and soul of the party. She's got a son. She's a single parent, and she found out she was pregnant at the age of 18 when she opened her own salon. She's an aesthetic salon. She's an aesthetic practitioner, I think she said. Anyway, she says she doesn't like being vulnerable. She's bubbly. She's a big personality. Personally, I think she needs to take off a lot of her foundation. No offense to her, but I think she's a beautiful girl underneath all that makeup, and she needs to tone it down quite a lot. And I think part of her insecurities is putting on that mask to sort of protect herself, and then the persona that she embraces to be the big personality. She's looking for someone who's kind, safe, motivated, tattoos, and a heart of gold. And it's like, people are always saying tattoos. What if they come with tattoos that are very controversial. We never say what type of tattoos we want. We just want someone who's drawing on their skin. I don't get that. I don't get that, just as I don't get the hair color. So she is matched with Joe, who's 30. He's a personal trainer. He says most of his clients are girls. And he tends to get carried away and is impulsive and has an addictive personality. It seems like he spent a lot of time going out and drinking quite a lot. Sounds like he had a problem with alcohol, so he lost a lot of weight. And when his mom saw him, she was devastated, and they were able to help sort of get him back on the right path and sort of combat his addictions. He says, this is the fittest he's been. Being a personal trainer is actually good for him because it allows him to sort of focus on his body and his well-being. So I love that for him. He wants someone who's kind, soft, fiery side, strong character and opinions. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get how experts looked at it, because they said that, Joe has a calming personality, whereas Maeve is very strong and very out there. And so Joe with his personality will be able to calm her. And it's like, this man is not asking for a client. He's not asking for a project. He's asking for a partner. Match him with what he asked for. That's it. Match him with what he asked for. There's no point in matching him with somebody else. Sadly, had we not seen the terrible side of Sarah, I would have said Sarah is the best partner for him. But the way Sarah has carried herself and the behavior that she's displayed, I don't think she's it for anyone. And so I don't think she's ideal for this man. And neither do I think Maeve is the person for him. I think they should have allowed him to wait until next season until they found his person. The seventh couple to get married is Julia Ruth and Devon. Julia Ruth is 28. Oh, actually, we didn't get to see her age at the hen do. Anyway, she's the youngest, it seems. She's a professional dancer. She's looking for someone with she says sexual chemistry is very important. She was born in South Africa and adopted to someone and lived in New Zealand. Her dad at 14, it seems, was diagnosed with a terminal disease, according to what she says, and then he passed away when she was 15. She was adopted by her sister, so her sister and her brother-in-law are now her mom and dad. It seems she's moved to the UK. She wants someone who's confident, someone who's driven. She's been matched with Devon. Devon is 29. He's a musician. He said he really loves athletics, so he trained with Team GB, and he has a 2-year-old son, and so he grew up in a single-parent household and didn't want that for his child, so he's in his son's life because he didn't have a relationship with his dad. He says he wants someone who's independent, someone who's spontaneous, free-spirited, physically active, and it's like, well, if that's what he's looking for, this is what Julia Ruth is. I really hope they align, because even though he's a short king, he's got a big, sort of a 6-foot guy personality, and I hope things continue to work out. I'm not convinced with the trailer that I saw, because I initially thought they were a perfect match, but then now I'm starting to think, oh, there might be trouble in paradise. For the rest of the couples, I'm just going to talk about them as couples, and then we'll see how we go. So you have Leah and Lee. I think Lee is very bossy. I think she says she wants someone who's masked so that they can pamper her and treat her like a princess, but then she's not willing to appreciate whatever effort somebody else makes. She was talking about the fact she wants her boundaries respected. So they went on a date. You had Leah arrange for them to go on a ski date. Oh, this didn't pan out very well, because from the moment they went there, you had Lee throwing a tantrum because she doesn't like heights, so this was crossing a boundary for her. She was told, I've arranged a zipline date for us. She threw a fit. You had Leah trying to console her, and she's still throwing a fit. And it's like, so what do you want? You said you want someone who's in charge. She's taking charge. She's arranging things. You don't like them. You're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to try what somebody else wants. You want what you want when you want it. And so for her to start crying and then have Leah try to console her, and she refuses that and stormed off. Kudos to Leah for continuing with the zip line, because that's what she wanted to do, and she has to do that. After the zipline date, she had cried, she had thrown a tantrum, she said she was feeling low. Leah thought, oh, let me arrange something more calming. So she arranged a massage date that didn't pan out very well. Oh, you're putting too much oil. Oh, your hands are too rough. Oh, this, that, and the other. She's giving me the same vibes that Grace and Sarah were giving. Grace, yes, has issues, but Grace has never said anything derogatory towards her partner or said anything actually that has made that man feel less than. Yes, some of her actions might have made him question what's going on, but she hasn't been as horrible as Lee and Sarah. I have to say that. I'm sorry. Because the massage ended up, just stopping abruptly. Oh, you need to stop. Too much oil. You're too rough. We need to teach you. Oh my God, who said you're the expert on this? Grace and Ashley, for me, were a big turnaround, and I'm very happy with the space they're at. Because after the failed massage, they then had a conversation because I was thinking this is not going to go anywhere. So they went on a date, and Grace actually told Ashley that, I am sorry, it's nothing to do with you, but even as a kid, I never liked people touching me. It sounds like she's got this Sheldon syndrome, so she didn't like people touching her. She always felt awkward. It's nothing to do with him. It's just her for who she is. And Ashley was able to understand that and say, okay, fine, I respect that. Thank you for letting me know. Because it was starting to appear as though it was him that she didn't like and not the fact that it was just the sensation of being touched that sort of was off-putting for her or sort of triggered certain senses that she didn't like. They went to an elephant sanctuary that was really cute. You had her giving him a piggyback ride. And it was nice to see her step out of her shell because I think being amongst the elephants sort of soothed and calmed her. And at one point she had her hand on Ashley's back and Ashley was shocked because he thought, oh, what's biting me? And then he turned around and he realized it was her. And I think he was taken aback because he didn't expect that, which was really cute that at least she's open to learning. This I love. You can start awkward, but then open up. That's okay. Don't start awkward and then continue to get worse. That I do not like. This is why I have issues with other people. They went on a little kayaking date. Oh, that was sweet. The paddleboard, when you're standing on your surfboard, they were playing little tricks. She stood on her head. He tried to stand on his head and he fell. And so it was really sweet to see Ashley actually trying to do something different, pushing herself out there because she actually said, I want us to be friends. And it showed that she was trying to be his friends. They went to a market as well on a date and they were eating scorpions. It was really sweet that they were really trying different things to see what sort of worked for the two of them, which I really loved. And then they ended off their date by going on a date, a sit-down date, which I thought was really cute because you had Ashley say to her, I wish our honeymoon had started from this point. It's sad that we're going, but I really wish we'd started from this point because this I really love. I love the space we're in. And so for me, I hope it's just onwards and upwards because at the end of the day, this man is someone that she can contort to be what she wants him to be. All she needs to do is just have patience and be open and she'll walk away with a prize. So I don't really see that many red flags with Ashley. I know people say, oh, he's not a feminist, he's not this. Those are things she can work on. Those are things she can teach him. Those are things that he can grow into. He's been brought up a certain way. That doesn't mean he's concrete. That will never sort of unset. We did get to see Nelly and Steven on their honeymoon. They're sweet. I think they were very good on their honeymoon that production didn't have anything. So they had to take a little snippet and sort of put it in there so that we realized that, yes, they're still on their honeymoon. They were playing with the football. He was teaching her how to kick the ball. So that was really sweet. And she was open to it. And this I love as well. I always want someone who's open to the experience. If things don't work out, they don't work out. But at least make an effort to say, I tried my best, but they didn't work out. With Davide and Key, they are in a happy space as well. They had the South African choir sing for them. They were also given shirts, and I love that they were dancing, and they really appreciated their time in South Africa. I wouldn't be surprised if they stay a couple and they go back to South Africa to visit again, because it seemed they had an amazing experience in South Africa, and they really enjoyed it and had the time of their lives. That was cute to see. Sarah and Dean, we didn't get to see. Surprise, surprise. And I'm like, what happened with the two of them? Was it that bad that production couldn't show us anything that happened? Anyway, we then go to the newlyweds. The weddings. What do I think? I think Maeve it's really sad to think that she says she's a single mom. She was trying to sort of change herself. But the way she behaved, I didn't like. Because from getting ready up until she walked down the aisle, it was a train wreck, in my opinion. She said she wants a bad boy all the time. She said she wanted to drink, so they opened a bottle of champagne. She said she wanted 4 drinks before she walked down the aisle. She walked down the aisle on a she was brought to the altar by her horse, because she had already said she had a horse she's had for 16 years. Joe, on his part, had a conversation with his mom before he walked down the aisle. So he stood at the altar. When the bridesmaids came out, he said, "Oh, I hope one of you is my bride." And they all said, "No, she's coming." And then she turned up on her horse. His mom was shocked. She actually looked at it and was like, "Oh, she's come on a horse." And it's like, oh my God. She was wearing a black dress for reasons known to her, because we all saw her try a white dress, but I think she was just going to be awkward and wanted to be the breakout star. So she decided to walk down in this black dress because she said she wanted to say goodbye to her single life. Prior to walking down the aisle, she spoke to her son and became very tearful, which was really sad. Anyway, she got to the altar. She spoke to Joe and said, "Oh, I'm very nervous. I can't wait. I need a drink. Anything liquid will do." And it's like, you don't know this man. What makes you think he'd be excited about that? I think with Joe, the moment he saw her in a black dress, he was put off. Because he said a black dress is for a funeral, it's not for a wedding. So I think the moment he saw her walk down the aisle, he was put off. And then her asking for a drink and saying, she's the life and soul of the party, just made things worse. They said their vows, walked down the altar, and then the next thing, we didn't get to see their pictures. Maybe that went smoothly. We saw them, when they got into the dinner party and sat at the table, and she was saying, she loves a drink. He asked her, do you want a drink? She said, yes, she'll go for white wine. And then the audacity to say, if it was rosé, I would be on my 4th bottle. So he had to ask, how are you when you're drunk? And the friend says she's wild and argumentative. And it's like, this man told experts he was trying to move away from that. He had a problem with it. He's trying to move away from that. And they decided, hold our beer. Here you go. Have your problem back. What do they expect this man to do with the situation? He said he wanted someone who was calm, and it doesn't seem like this is who they've matched him with. Her friend sat down with Maeve and they were saying he's a calm guy. And Maeve was saying, yeah, he looks like he's had a great time before. He's enjoyed himself and is calm. And the girls asked her, are you ready to calm down now that you have this guy? Do you really like him? She says she likes him, but do I think she's going to change? I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of problems. It's giving me, what's her name? That lady from last season who was always fighting with her husband and eventually went home to her children and stuff. I've really forgotten her name, but that's the impression that I'm getting from her. She's too loud. She needs to tone down the makeup. She needs to sort of reassess what she says when she says it, because at the end, her child is going to be bullied by other children at school for the things that she's doing on TV. I wish she had been more sensitive, and I wish she had been more focused if she really wants to get married and she really wants a life partner. I love that you had Joe's mom and friends saying to him, you need to be open. Yes, she appears this, that, and the other, but that's not a negative thing. You need to be open. You need to give it a chance. You never know, during conversations or with time, things might change and she might actually be your person. And it's like, I hope so for her. I really hope so for her. Julie, Ruth, and Devon. Well, she spoke to her sister and her sister's brother, well, her mom and dad, before she walked down the altar, and they were trying to encourage her and telling her that her dad will be looking down on her. She was excited. Her friends came down. She had a lot of gay friends, so she had about 3 guy friends, and one of them walked her down the aisle. With Devon, he had 2 of his friends come down. One of them was a girl, and they were saying they're excited for him as well. And he was saying that my immediate family is not here, sadly. So it feels like he invited his friends as well and didn't invite his blood relatives. They walked down the aisle and they were both excited with what they saw. They were giddy. You had Devon say it's love at first sight. I love it. I loved their vows. I thought they were the sweetest. They're both creative, so they were excited about that. And so their vows were cute. And then when they got to take the picture, or even the kiss they shared at the altar, the photographer was saying, oh my God, it's hot in here. It's suddenly hot in here. And I love it for them. I think they could make a great couple. It seems there's going to be tensions on the honeymoon, and I hope they're able to work on that. but I can't see them having a good relationship. I can actually see them working because it seems like they're aligned on a lot of things. Their friends and really loved them together. They thought they made a cute couple. So I can't wait to see what happens with them. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my view from episode 3. Bye guys.